Getting into our hot in the headlines, have you been paying attention to the new cast lineup for Dancing with the Stars?
I have, yes.
Obviously, we have what we talked about in the past. We have some Olympians who are joining. We obviously have some news about some people who are professional dancers not joining for other reasons and so much more. But Anna Delvey was just brought into the mix for Dancing with the Stars, and everyone's like, hold my beer. Even Whoopi Goldberg, she's like, hold the phone. The F, like, what she literally said, what the hell, man? Like, she is joining the upcoming season, and there are interviews happening. She's becoming a thing again. And so people have such mixed opinions on Anna Delvey joining a celebrity cast when she's a convicted felon.
I mean, I don't get why people are so up in arms about this. Like, Anna Delvey is a hot topic. Anna Delvey, I mean, she is a celebrity at this point. There was an entire Netflix series created about her life. You know, she was played by one of the most prominent actresses, you know, in television or even in she does TV and film. So it's like Anna Delvey's not just some, hooker that got locked up and then was released. And also her crime, like we're literally glorifying Gypsy Rose, who had a whole plot to off and whack her mother, whereas Anna Delvey just bamboozled a couple of rich people and got them to buy her lunch. Like, Anna Delvey's crime is not nearly as bad as some of the morally corrupt acts that people commit on a regular basis that lock them up. Now, if
Well, I
this were
mean,
Scott Peterson joining Dancing with the Stars, I would understand people being so up in arms. But I'm like, listen, Anna Delvey with the ankle monitoring bracelet, waltzing around the dance floor, I ain't mad at it.
she committed a felony. I don't know how many felonies have been on Dancing with the Stars. Maybe she is the first. I'd have to look that up. But like to have someone who has committed crime and like be on a national stage, how much money she swindled. But the fact is that I think the weird part, this is like what's sending me up in arms. She had gotten special permission from ICE, which is the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to do this. And so, like, there is a good point being brought up of like, how the F do you go to ICE? Like, how do you submit a request to ICE and say, hey, girl, I want to do this show. I know I'm on house arrest. I have an ankle monitor. Can I go do this for work?
Well,
Like,
it's
how does
like
that conversation start?
you have like a probation officer. You have somebody that you report to when you have to travel, when you have to work. Like you have somebody that has to approve these things. That's like your appointed
Right. But is this
person that
considered, is this
oversees.
really considered work? Or is this considered a
Yeah, she's
like,
getting paid to do it.
do they get paid on Dancing with the Stars?
I believe so. They get paid, and you get paid more if you win, or you come in second place, or you come in third place. You get some sort of compensation. I mean, I don't get why people are so up in arms about this, and it's not that outlandish to me. I mean, I find it campy and kind of funny that she has an ankle monitoring bracelet, but like, listen, sis is gonna hustle and good for her. Get your paycheck. And obviously the producers knew what they were doing because they got everybody talking about it.
They do.
Listen, I said they should have thrown Gypsy Rose onto the show. Like,
That would have made more sense. Honestly, I think that would
how
make.
would, okay, first of all, you can't argue about the morality of Anna Delvey was a con artist. Gypsy Rose had her mother whacked.
One of them
Both,
committed a felony.
they're both felons. They both went
Are
to
they
prison.
both? But just because you went to
Andy,
prison, I mean,
you don't get a slap on the wrist for taking
a
out your
felony is a
mama.
different. It's a different tier of crime.
It is a different tier. I mean, listen, I understand there are different types of felony, but like Gypsy Rose, let's be clear, also a convicted felon. She went to prison for the murder of her mother. She went to prison for second-degree murder.
But that's not a felony.
Second-degree murder is not a felony.
I'm looking it up. Is second degree murder
It's not a misdemeanor. It's not a DUI, Andrew.
murder? Okay, well, wow. Okay. There are 2 degrees of felony murder, first degree and second degree. I didn't know it
Yes.
was actually
How?
considered.
When did you? What
I
did you
thought
think happened
I
to
thought
people
felony was
that
related to
committed
like
murders?
government crimes. I thought felony was like
No,
governmental.
felony, there's misdemeanors, which are like minor infractions, and then there are felonies where you get locked up in federal prison. Tom Girardi is going to prison. He's going to be a felon. Jen Shaw is currently in prison because she's a felon. Elizabeth Holmes is a felon. Gypsy Rose is a felon. Scott Peterson is a felon. Jeffrey Dahmer is a felon.
Well,
And of all of
I
them, I think Anna Delvey did the least damage considering she
I
was
just
just
think it's
calling
weird
people.
bringing her back into relevancy on Dancing with the Stars. I think it would have made more sense in a casting decision to be like, Gypsy Rose has had a lot of series and more. I'm not saying I'm a fan of either of them, but I'm just like, they're kind of resurrecting Anna Delvey with this opportunity because she's been kind of like quiet
We
on house arrest. She
we
can't do
just
much.
well, first of all, she just came out of prison, but she just was allowed to return to social media, so she kind of had to be quiet. But we just covered her on the Pop Report like 2 weeks ago because she launched her new fashion line and she's building a fashion empire
But no
with
one's been
Kelly
really
Cutrone.
giving her the light of day in my hot take.
She
Like, no
just
one's,
had a fashion show. She's developing an entire fashion line.
but she did it on her own. So I'm saying like she's taking her own initiative and no one's giving her like the golden opportunity nugget.
Fair,
And so like ABC's like, here you go,
fair.
girl. Let's bring you back. It's not like Netflix is bringing you back opportunity. They're not like, let's do a tell all now that you're free to work.
You're gonna tell me you don't think she got compensation for the Netflix series about her life? You don't think she sold that to them? The
I
same.
wonder. So, I mean, if it's the life rights of someone, like it's up for jurisdiction, but like, let me look up if did Anna Delvey
Yeah, she was
sell
paid.
her life
She
rights?
was paid over 300 grand for inventing Anna.
That wasn't a lot. That's not a lot.
It is
For
for
how big that
somebody that
became.
has no money.
I have no money. But I mean, I don't know. It's just weird that like we're bringing her back in and like as a society
She
we're like,
never
cool.
went away. We literally had an entire Netflix series that was developed about her life. She had to kind of stay mum and not do interviews because she was barred by the courts. But then they argued in court that she needs to work in order to support herself, which is why they allowed her to work with Kelly Cutrone, and then they allowed her to return to social media.
They were also
And
about to deport her though.
I mean, listen, I don't know what's happening with her deportation case. She's kind of still in holding. At this point, I don't know I don't think they're going to deport her.
It's just weird because it's like we had all this stuff about her. We're like, we're sending her away, and then we're like keeping her in the U.S. Don't know, girl. But I just find it interesting. Like, I don't know what the next casting opportunity of Dancing with the Stars is going to be, but I want
mean,
to see Whoopi Goldberg up there.
we've had a lot of controversial Dancing with the Stars castings in the past.
Do you think anyone else is going to join this season? That's kind of out of left field.
No, they announced the whole cast.
They did?
Yeah.
Girl, I've been sleeping on that.
When they announce who's joining Dance with the Stars, unless it's a leak, they always announce the full cast. It's like Anna Delvey, Eric Roberts, who's Emma Roberts' dad. We have Phaedra Parks. We have there's some rugby
Joey
player,
from The Bachelor.
Joey from The Bachelor.
Well, this is a day ago. How did I miss all of this? Because I think yesterday I was having a full ass day. Tori Spelling's on it. Yeah, so interesting grab bag. I mean, Jen Tran's on here. Like, it makes sense that they're trying to put some more ABC people on ABC shows, but I still won't watch. I know this is getting ahead of the game for Watch or Skip, but I still won't watch.
I never watch, so I don't care. I just like to follow the highlights.
I'm obsessed with you. Wow. Even though you scathed me about like not knowing about felonies. Anyway,
Well, 'cause I was like, what do you think a felony is?
I just didn't know murder was considered a felony. I really flubbed on that one. I thought it was just like murder. You're a murderer.
It's a felony. Yeah, it's just the two different classifications of a crime, regardless of what the crime is. There's a misdemeanor and then there's a felony.
We can all have
Misdemeanors.
our days.
What?
We can all have our days. Today is my day.
Okay.
It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.